Guys, welcome back to my channel. Dropping noodle legs here today. I don't know why I always say that. You know it's me. It's crazy. It's me here today. All right, old Mr. Knobhead. Um, I got a little short one for you today. Just a little unboxing, which I've not done for a little while. That's mainly because I've not really brought anything for a while. But you know, all Christmas shopping done, everything ready now. So I'll just have a little look at your little bank balance sometimes, and you think, yeah, I've got a few extra quid, not much, but I've ordered a couple of little bits, and one of them arrived. I'm expecting a CD set to arrive next week, which again I'll do probably an unboxing for. But today was a movie one, and it's some classic movies, and it's not horror, okay, but it's still classic movies, very important movies, I think, because these movies um, sum up the 1980s to me, pretty much, you know. And I'm talking about Back to the Future. This is the ultimate trilogy collection on 4K. Ooh, 4K, you say? Um, yeah, to me, they sum up the 80s because everybody in their teens or whatever went to see this at the cinema, right? I went to see it with one of my very first sort of girlfriends back in the day, who Justine was her name. Can't remember too much about her now because I mean, all I know, she was lovely, and yeah, she was great. And we went to see this at the cinema. So I have fond memories of this. It was like one of my first sort of dates. I went to see Back to the Future at the cinema. Um, I went to the cinema a few times in the 80s on dates. I went to see Day of the Dead, and you know how that turned out. You know, as I told you, it was so gory. I was ill. But yeah, I've been to a few cinemas. Like Fright Night, I went to see in the 80s on a date, and this was another one. So it's got quite importance to me because it holds a lot of memories, and the look of the film, it's so 80s, isn't it? The clothes, everything. I know it's very American sort of 80s, with like the life preserve jacket that he wears and stuff like that, which we didn't really wear over here. In the UK, it was all big sort of like big white sort of shirts, and you know, granddad shirts and button up down here, and big sort of baggy pleated trousers and stuff. But in America, it was all sort of like almost like lumberjack shirts and sort of like life preserve jackets, what they call them, puffer jackets with no sleeves. And so, and it's got that, and it's got so many things that's retro in here, skateboards, you know, ghetto blasters and stuff, and it's just so 80s, and it just warms you. It's one of those films you watch that warms you. Um, I do love these films. Now, my lord, Lemon Lad, these are his favourite movies. He absolutely loves Back to the Future. It's his favourite movie franchise. Don't have his favourite movie of all time, but he says it's his favourite franchise of all time because he loves Star Wars. He's a dad. I love Harry Potter and all that, but this is my favourite to go to. Goes, which is, you know, it feels a bit strange. I said, well, no, not really, because you've had that connection with it, and it's a connection that you get with a series. Like my favourite film franchise is Friday the 13th, just because of the history of the films, and I still vision me watching them back in the 80s. I'm going to review some of them next year because I've not done them, so I might pick out my 5 favourite Friday the 13th and review them on a week next year. But anyway, let's crack on with this unboxing. I haven't opened it yet, as you can see, it's still sealed. So I'll just take off the cellophane. I believe it's 7 discs. So it's a cellophane off. Let me get me old granddad glasses. Do my granddad impression. There we go. Okay, this is 4 times sharper than 4 HD. Includes all films in stunning 4K. Loaded with bonus features, plus over an hour of all new bonus. The Hollywood Museum goes Back to the Future. Back to the Future, the musical behind the scenes. I didn't even know there was a musical. An alternative future Lost audition tapes, that could be interesting. Could you survive the movies Back to the Future? Explore the magic of the science Back to the Future and find out with the physics and actual vividness. It's a special episode of popular YouTube series. Don't know what that is. Plus, there's a 6-part documentary. There's loads of extra features in there. So that's quite cool. So it's got some bonus features that are sort of like come out especially for this set. So here we go. We've got a 4K box and we've got a Blu-ray box. All right. So it's cool. Let's take the boxes out. It's okay. A little bit flimsy, but we are talking a major company. You know, this is not Second Sight or Arrow or anything that actually takes the time and love over it. So they give you a sort of flimsy sort of case. This has come out from Universal. Right, so let's have a look at the 4K box first. Here's the 4K box, which is quite cool. As you can see, it's got Michael J. Fox on the front there. It's got Crispin Glover, and obviously it's got Christopher Lloyd. I love Crispin Glover. Do you remember? Do you remember the laugh? McFly. Alright, so here we go. It's the first film on 4K. No postcards or booklets, which is a real gutting thing, really. And there's the second and third movie, but is it the same picture? No, there's slightly different pictures on each film one. I thought, oh, is it the same picture on each one? But I think they are slightly different. Or it could just be my old man's sight. But on this one there, there's no one there. But on this one there, there's the girl standing there. So, and obviously that one you've just got a McFly there, Artie McFly. So there we go. So we've got 4K versions of all 3 films in the 4K part of the box set. So we'll pop that back in there. Actually, before we do that, let's have a little look and see what it says on the back. Loaded with bonus features. Oh, it pretty much says exactly the same what it says on the box out there. Okay, so that is pretty much the replica of the back of that on the back of the 4K. So let's have a look at the Blu-ray set. This is the Blu-ray. I think it's the same picture. Again, Universal not taking the time and love to just put some little different things in there to make it look different, but that's a bit different, which is okay. But again, that would have been a nice little touch, just making the boxes different. So we open this again, no booklets, nothing. We got the first movie, the second movie, and the third movie, and there's your bonus disc of extra features. So the hour, I reckon, of the extra features are going to be on that disc. Won't really know until I've loaded them up. So it's just got the 3 films. Doesn't say anything on here about the bonus disc, which is a bit strange. I might review some of these. I'll probably, but when I do them though, it'll probably be clip free, so I might have to just do maybe some screenshots. But just because of the copyright nonsense that these big companies tend to put on stuff, you know, I can understand why they do it. You know, we like some big channels, but my channel's so small, I don't make any money off it. I'm not making no money off these films. If anything, the only thing I'm doing is promoting them, right? And it's just like, well, what's that about? But yeah, so that's it. There's 7 discs. You've got the movie, all 3 of them on 4K and all 3 of them on Blu-ray, and some bonus features. And that's it. Again, Universal haven't gone out of their way to do anything sort of like spectacular with it. Now, if it would have been like Second Sight, Arrow, 88 film, there'll be like posters in there, there'll be like a booklet and all that sort of good stuff, maybe lobby cards, You know what I mean? And they would have actually beefed it out to have actually made it really good. I believe there was a sort of collector's edition of this when it came out. Obviously, I've got it too late in the day to pick that up. Now, I got this because it was on offer on Amazon. I think I got it for £29.99, which I thought, okay, that's really good. Because when it came out, it was like 50, 60 quid. And I was just thinking, well, £29.99, so that costs really a tenner per movie, but you got the movie in two different versions. Obviously, you've got the 4K and you've got the Blu-ray, and you've got all those special features. I thought, well, that's not a bad deal for £29.99, and it's really good to have them in my collection. So that's it. That's the Back to the Future unboxing 4K box set. So, and you guys like the movie? I'm sure a lot of you do, and a lot of you remember it. Like I said, it's a real sort of like, if you were born in the late 60s, like myself, or the early 70s, these films were your youth, you know, not necessarily childhood, but your youth, you know. But a lot of people that say childhood, you know, unfortunately, it's not my son's childhood because he was born in the 90s, but he's grown to love them because obviously me watching them at home or them being on telly over Christmas and stuff. And unfortunately, he didn't get the opportunity to see these in a cinema, which is a gutting really, because it's like, you know, this is a proper cinema movie. These are your Steven Spielberg movies, I believe. Yeah, they are. So he made your E.T. and all those sort of films, and he made Poltergeist with Tobe Hooper. So he's the big budget sort of like pretty much family movies. Obviously, Poltergeist isn't obviously Gremlins. If he did that, which I think he did, they're not family friendly. They're sort of monster flicks, horror films. But he's done a lot of family films like E.T. and all these sort of things. Close Encounters of the Third Kind, one of my favourite films. And I know he's quite a big producer, Steven Spielberg, but I quite like his movies, to be honest. There's something about them, you know, that I like. I know a lot of people think, oh, I don't like all these big sort of producers and that, but why not? You know, this guy, you can't say he's not made some cracking movies. E.T. was great. Close Encounters was great. These were awesome, you know. Poltergeist was good. Gremlins was good. He's made some great movies, and he's like the director of that era, you know. When you think of that, him, you think of those. And when you think of science fiction, most time you think of Ridley Scott and stuff like that. But he's also done quite a bit of science fiction movies, which these are. These are science fiction comedy films about Marty McFly, a teenage guy who's befriended a sort of professor doctor, and this doctor makes inventions, and he's invented this car that can go back to the future. And in the other episodes, he invents the car to go forward in the future. So it's really, really cool. Really good movies, and they're class. Really good fun to watch at any time of the year, especially Christmas though. You know. So great. There we are, guys. That's my little unboxing of Back to the Future, and I can't wait to see them on 4K. But I might hold off because tomorrow Lemon Law comes up, me lad, for Christmas, and I can't wait for that. Really, I can't. So I will have a look at these probably with him, and I might do some reviews of those. Awesome. See you soon, guys.